to the Three Peas in a Pod. I'm Patches.
I'm Paddles.
And I'm Paddles.
And today it's another one of our topics episodes. And to explain more, here's Paddles.
Thank you, Patches. As everybody can see, it's Paddles! She's back!
Welcome back, Paddles.
Glad to be back.
Alrighty, so we're doing our topics once again. But I'm actually not doing sports this time, so that's why I'm wearing this. Okay, so we're on Grey's Anatomy Season 11. The episode updates are from episode 11 to episode 15. So there are spoilers, so if you're not up to this episode point, you might want to mute. Alright, for episode 11, we had April and Jackson's results of their baby had type 2 osteogenesis imperfecta, while April is also having doubts about her faith in religion. Catherine, Avery, and Richard are talked for the first time in 6 months after they had a major fight. Due to last season, if you don't remember that what happened, it was basically when Christina was she was nominated for the Harper Avery Award, but she was turned down because she was one of the board members of Seattle Grace Mercy West Hospital, now as Graceland Memorial Hospital. So they thought, since she was on the board, that she deserved the award. Also, while operating on a woman who was accidentally shot by her husband while out hunting, it was discovered that she was pregnant with a little girl. She had no idea for 9 months that she was pregnant. Also, April and Jackson named their son Samuel Norbert Avery. For episode 12, Meredith doesn't tell her friends that she didn't see Derek in D.C. Instead, she stayed in a hotel by herself. She told Alex and Maggie the truth when she ended up doing. Maggie was concerned because she thought Meredith was cheating on Derek. We meet Ben's brother for the first time when they are along with Miranda spent ashes of their father in the woods when all of a sudden his brother faints while he's on the hill. It is discovered, though, when they're at the hospital, that Ben's brother Curtis is actually transitioning into a woman named Rosalind. For episode 13, finally Dr. Herman's tumor has entered the optic chiasm, which pushes the surgery for the day, or it's actually for that day, excuse me. The woman Glenda Castillo is sent to emergency surgery performed by Arizona, making it her first solo fetal surgery, while in the other operating room, Amelia is performing the surgery on Dr. Herman's tumor, excuse me. In the end of the episode, we don't know what happened in both cases, so that goes on to episode 14. Okay, this is a long one because there's a lot more to talk about in episode 14 than there is in episodes 13, 12, and 11. Also 15.
Yeah.
The majority of the episode, you're seeing Amelia operate on Dr. Herman, and then the other cut scene is with Arizona and Miranda. Also, Stephanie is assisting Amelia, excuse me. When Meredith and Miranda hit a snag in their operation, they have Dr. Karev, also known as Alex, come to the operation to help with the baby. And when Amelia has a stumbling block, Dr. Weber comes and helps her and talks to her and makes sure that she knows that she doesn't need her brother Derek to fix her situations and fix her mess, that she can take care of it herself. In the end, Glenda Castillo's surgery went successful and the baby no longer had the tumor on its back. On the other hand, Amelia's surgery, the surgery went flawless supposedly, but Dr. Herman did not wake up, and so people thought she had a brain failure, but it turned out she had a stroke before the surgery, and that would cause her not to be able to see anymore. For episode 15, in the beginning of the episode, there was an earthquake in Seattle. During this earthquake, a young girl called the hospital and answered the phone call, and she was guided by Owen, Amelia, and Richard to help save the girl, help the girl save her mother's life. Miraculously, her mother did survive through this whole ordeal. If things weren't enough, Callie and Maggie operate on an elderly woman who is sexually excited for her age. Finally, Meredith seemed to be on a patient streak, which basically means is when you have not killed your patient at all for a long time. And since it was discovered since the streak started when Derek left for DC in November. That's really about it for right now. Right now, Andrew and I are on episode 18 of season 11, so that's going to be coming up very soon. If you have any questions about Grey's Anatomy or what has happened in previous seasons, I can talk about that too as well. It's a recap of the first 10 seasons since we started doing this when we were on the 11th season. But that's enough about TV shows. On to you, Petals.
Thank you, Paddles. Now for me, I decided to do movies, since that is one of the things I talk about. And this time, I'm going to be talking about movies that are coming out in theaters. From this year, the end of this year, till a little bit next year. Let's see, the first one I'm going to talk about is Sing, which is a kids movie, PG movie, so don't worry parents, it's very appropriate for kids. It's directed by Garth Jennings and Christopher Loerdeler, and the cast is like Matthew McConaughey, Reese Witherspoon, Seth MacFarlane, Scarlett Johansson, and some others, which I didn't mention. Sorry. It's about a koala named Buster Moon who is trying to restore his theater to its former glory. And the only way to do that, he thinks, is to hold the biggest singing competition. So if you like musicals, if you love dancing, if you love all the lights and flashes and high voices, this movie is a good movie for you to watch. And it's coming out on December 21st, so if you like all of that stuff, I would highly recommend you watch it. The second one is it's on a different spectrum. It's the Star Wars Rogue One story, which is coming out this Friday. I know you guys have seen like so many trailers about it. I have too. It's like, and you're wondering, like, how is this different from the regular other Star Wars? Well, guess who's back? Dun dun da da! Darth Vader! We've got Darth Vader. We've got some other characters that we are sort of familiar with, but at the same time not. And this is directed by Gareth Edwards, and the cast is Felicity Jones, Diego Luna, Alan Tudyk, and Donnie Yen. And in this one, it's where the rebellion makes a risky move to steal the plans for the Death Star. Now, I'm not really too familiar about this movie because, I'm sorry fans, but I'm not really huge on Star Wars, so if any of you are really big on Star Wars, I apologize, but I'm not really one, so sorry. And one of the things I was disappointed about hearing about this movie is, where's C-3PO? Where's R2-D2? Those are my two favorite characters, besides Chewbacca. Sorry, I love Chewbacca. But those two are not in the movie. And I'm sorry, this is a spoiler alert. So if you haven't seen Star Wars, I'm sorry, this is a spoiler alert. Just wanted you to know that. And the third movie is Monster Trucks. I know like a lot of guys are like, yeah, Monster Trucks, woohoo! After seeing the trailer, I thought like, okay, it's actually a cute movie. Again, it's another Disney movie, another movie for kids. It's PG, and it comes out on January 13th, 2017. It stars Jane Levy, Lucas Till, Rob Lowe, and Amy Ryan, and it's directed by Chris Wedge. And it's about this teenager who's trying to find his way into the world. He's trying to escape a lot of stuff, and he decides to. He takes apart cars and rebuilds them, and he finds this monster in a car, and they become best friends. And that's really it, what I have for these four movies, and I hope you like them. And if there are any other movies you want me to talk about, please feel free to comment. And yes, I did get this from ibdm.com. I will post this. I will send the link, and it will be on their website, or it'll be on the description. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that. On to you, Patches.
Thank you, Petals. And I know in the last couple episodes I've been doing sports, but today I'm doing something that I haven't done in I don't know how many episodes, but we're going back to another favorite of mine, history. Yes, history. And being that it is December 13th, a lot of you, of course, know that last week was the anniversary of Pearl Harbor. And it was a very seldom event, of course. I know a lot of Americans remember that. You always see them, the American flag at half-mast, which is a commemoration to all those people who died and perished and defended that harbor. I have 3 facts that came from that, and I got them from the history.com website. I'll put that also in the description. Here's the first fact. We all know that it occurred on December 7th, 1941. But did you know that it occurred on a Sunday? Leave a comment below if you knew if it wasn't on a Sunday. The second one, of course, this was obviously the big one. It was the event that will ultimately force the United States into World War II. And more than 2,000 Americans, soldiers and sailors, died in the attack, and another 1,000 were wounded. Now, we will go into detail more about this in a future episode. So me, Paddles, and Pedals will be doing another commemoration, so stay tuned. Now, for being this today, I'm going to give you 3 facts on what happened on this day. And
which is December 13th.
December 13th. So here's the first thing that I saw. 1577. Sir Francis Drake set sail from England on a circumnavigation of the world. On December 13th, 1833, the HMS Beagle had Charles Darwin as a passenger. Charles Darwin! And he arrives in Port Deseado, Patagonia. Now, of course, if you don't know where it is, it's right on the southern coast of Argentina, way down there. And of course, I have to add a little bit of sports. The third fact that occurred, 1936, the Green Bay Packers win the NFL championship with a 10-1-1 record under Coach Curly Lambeau. Now, I got these facts from the website onthisday.com. It didn't mention who they beat, but leave a comment for me to tell me who they defeated and what was the final score. So, those are my topics for today. And now, back on to you, Paddles.
Thank you, Patches. It's a little side note, there's nothing about TV shows or sports or movies. Just that on Thursday, Patches and I are both getting haircuts, so goodbye, shaggy, poofy hair. I'm so glad to say goodbye to you for right now. I really need a short haircut, so when you see us again, you'll be like, oh, they got haircuts. Yeah. Well, that makes sense, because I mentioned that last episode. But
need a chia.
Especially for the Christmas holidays, so I can say chia. Not sponsored.
We're not sponsored by Chia Pet.
That came in our early days. Says, hey, it looks like you have a Chia Pet. I have no sponsorment or comments to the Chia Pet Foundation.
Or company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just trying to look good for the holidays, since after all, it is going to be Christmas in 12 days. Yikes! I'm not ready for that. Always. But we hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you guys come back and see us soon. The next episodes, we don't know yet. We're going to talk about and see what topics we want to talk about, or do a challenge, who knows. But make suggestions for us, and have a wonderful day.
And from us, the pods, me, Patches.
Me, Paddles.
And me, Paddles.
Bye.